How to generate real estate leads to find motivated sellers is the primary skill of a real estate investor, because if you can do this and do it consistently, you'll never be short of opportunities to purchase real estate at a discount. And for you, I've got 7 tried and true methods for generating seller leads that I'm going to share right now. You ready? Let's go. If you want to be a successful real estate investor, there may be no more important skill set than knowing how to generate real estate leads of potentially motivated sellers. If there's one area that differentiates the struggling investor from the elite, it may not be talent, money, or personality, but rather a system for generating motivated seller leads. You know, most real estate investors, they think they're real estate investors first, but the truth is that the very best ones are marketers first. They focus on marketing, of which generates these motivated seller leads, of which gives them the opportunity to then invest in the very best deals in the marketplace. See, without a source of these motivated seller leads, you'll waste valuable time trying to convince sellers that parting with their home is a good idea, rather than working with sellers who are passionate about moving forward with you on a deal. And by the time we're done here, you're gonna have 7 proven methods for generating motivated seller leads for your real estate investing business. Oh, and by the way, if you're still looking to get that first deal under your belt, I put together a free training just for you to help you get that first deal done. And then how you can earn $5,000 a month flipping contracts and properties working in as little as 1 hour a day. And you can access it at mattsfreetraining.com. All right, so let's begin with defining a lead. And it's really simple. A lead is nothing more than the name and contact information of someone who has the ability to sell a property. And these are in abundance. They're everywhere. But for our purposes of finding discounted real estate, we're going to define what we're looking for by adding one additional criteria. This lead needs to sell, as opposed to 95% of the sellers in the market that want to sell. And we call this type of lead that needs to sell a motivated seller. So a motivated seller is someone eager to get rid of a property in their possession. And it's typically for one of 3 types of distress. Either it's personal distress, financial distress, or the property itself is in some sort of distress. Now, before we jump into the strategies for finding them, let's look in more detail at the 2 primary conditions that we need these sellers to meet. Either they are willing to sell the property at a very favorable price, of which would fall within a range of 20 to 50% below market value, or they're willing to sell the property at favorable terms, of which might include something like seller financing, no money down, 0% interest, stuff like that. Ideally, you want both conditions to apply, but at least one is generally required for someone to be defined as a motivated seller. And the big advantage you have when working with motivated sellers is speed. You see, these folks have a compelling reason to sell that property and do it quickly. And understanding that reason and helping resolve it is what makes it possible to buy deeply discounted real estate. Now, let's run down 7 proven methods for generating motivated seller leads. The first one, direct mail. You know, despite what you may have heard, direct mail is still one of the most effective methods for generating seller leads for real estate investment businesses of any size. The ability to generate a targeted list of motivated sellers from sources such as, say, ListSource or US Leads List and send them a piece of mail that speaks directly to their needs, this is a strategy you should strongly consider because it works. And why does direct mail work so well? Well, the reason is that you can target a very specific list of property owners, and a lot of them very efficiently based on their potential motivation to sell. For example, you can buy a list of individuals who own a house in one city but live out of state, and we call these out-of-state absentee owners. And another great example would be a list of individuals who have recently received a notice of default letter, commonly referred to as a pre-foreclosure. An even better strategy is to start stacking these lists, for example, targeting out-of-state absentee owners who have been served a notice of default to really pinpoint sellers who need to sell their property. And finding a list of out-of-state owners who are also behind on payments or they're behind on their taxes, it's a much more valuable list because you are now stacking their motivations. The most affordable resource that I've found to do this with a wide number of different motivations that you can stack on top of each other like this, that can be found at propstreamepic.com. One of my favorite lists that I market to are properties that have been on the multiple listing service for more than 60 days that are owned free and clear. Now this has turned into a great source of seller finance properties for me, and you can get free access to this list too for 7 days at propstreamepic.com. And I'll also put a link below in the description for you to make it easy. Lead generation method number 2. BANDIT signs on wheels. You see, BANDIT signs on wheels, this is a modern take on the traditional BANDIT signs that you see hammered into the ground and on street corners and on telephone poles all across your market. You've seen those ugly yellow signs, right? With the black markers reading, "We buy houses." Yeah, those. So we took the idea of a basic BANDIT sign and applied it to the back window of a car. And a private REA Ace client of mine, Aaron Silvers, has built a significant portion of his business around this lead generation strategy. See, he had hundreds of cars on the road in Boise, Idaho with a sticker that read, "We buy houses in any condition." He had those cars just driving around town. And each sticker had a phone number with an extension so that he knew which car generated the phone call. And every time he gets a lead from one of his cars and then he ends up buying that house, that driver is compensated. The trick here is making sure that you have a phone system that allows extension tracking so that you know which car generated the call and who needs to be paid for that lead. And there are a number of phone services that do that, but we use REI Blackbook, and you can get 14 days of free access of that at epicblackbook.com. This is an excellent long-term growth strategy for generating leads at scale. Now, lead generation method number 3, driving for dollars. And this is the act of hopping in your car and driving a neighborhood or your entire market in search of houses that look vacant or in some form of distress. Many people, they've got their own system for doing this, and we have our own here as well. So when you find a property that appears to be vacant, instead of just jotting it down on a notepad, you can use a special app on your phone just for this. And it works like this. When you see a distressed piece of property, pull out your phone, open up the app, and then take a picture. And like magic, the seller's information will pop up right there on your phone through the app. Now you can call the seller right then and there. Or you can just click a button in the app and a postcard is going to be sent to the seller. And on that postcard it reads, "Hey, I'd like to buy your house, call me." And the picture that you just took of their house, that's on the postcard too. It gets a lot of attention. Then once you do this, the property is going to be automatically saved in the app. And then you can reference it on your desktop when you get back to your office. Do this for every property that you have found on your drive, and you will have built a nice list of properties that might not appear on any of the marketing lists that you're sending your direct mail to. And that means these properties aren't appearing on your competition's marketing list either. This is a great way to find deals that your competition won't. And if you'd like to give that app a 7-day test drive, plus get $30 of free postcard credit, go to epicdealmachine.com. Now, if you'd like me to continue with 4 more real estate lead generation strategies, let me know by smashing the like button. And if you take your real estate investing seriously, make sure to click the subscribe button as I post stuff like this each and every week to help people like you become better real estate investors and retire early. Lead generation method number 4, property finders, sometimes referred to as bird dogs. This is a great way to multiply your motivated seller lead generation efforts. So, what is a property finder? Kind of self-explanatory, I think, but it's someone who locates distressed properties on your behalf and is compensated for doing so. For example, you can recruit an individual who is already walking or driving your targeted neighborhood, like, maybe your mail carrier, or an Uber driver, or the ice cream man, or gardeners, or the pool guy, and ask them to send you the addresses of any houses that look like they're in a distressed state. Why would someone go out of their way to do that for you? Simple. You're going to pay them to do it. You can incentivize them or compensate them either by lead that they give you or per closed deal. Lead generation method number 5, Google Ads. And these are often the very first search results that you see when performing a search on Google. You can pay money to Google and they will put your ad in front of people who are searching for keywords of your choosing. For example, if you like your ad to appear when someone types the phrase in "how to sell an inherited house in Phoenix," Google Ads will allow you to do just that. The leads you capture from Google Ads tend to be some of the highest quality because those people are actively searching for a solution to a problem. They're searching for the solution that you provide. Compare this to direct mail, where you are trying to grab their attention before they toss your mailer in the trash. Google Ads can be fairly competitive in the real estate investing niche, and they can be expensive if you're slow to respond. But if you can position yourself to call your leads back as soon as the lead comes in, the payoff with Google Ads can be extremely high. Now, lead generation number 6, Facebook ads. They're also a great way to get in front of motivated sellers, if done properly. You may have heard that you just can't find motivated sellers on Facebook. Well, that's not true. Facebook has over 200 million daily active users, including people who are behind on their payments, dealing with bad tenants, or may have recently inherited a house. But you must realize people do not go to Facebook to find answers to their questions or to necessarily solve problems. Maybe create some new ones. I don't know. They are there, though, to browse their newsfeed, see what their friends and family are up to, or to stumble across some news or an interesting article. The mistake many investors make when running Facebook ads is that they go directly for the ask. They run ads that read, "We buy houses," or "Sell your house fast." See, there's no consideration for the wants, needs, or emotions of their audience. But the beauty of Facebook is that you are in control of who sees your ad. You see, you can create your ideal audience and only show your ads to them. For example, you can upload a list of email addresses and phone numbers and run a very targeted ad to that list. I don't know, maybe you pull that marketing list out of out-of-state absentee owners from PropStreamEpic.com, or the list of all those property addresses you gathered while driving for dollars. Load those up and put your ads in front of them. I mean, imagine having sent someone a postcard that you'd like to buy their house, and then the next time they log on to Facebook, boom, there's your ad right in front of them again. Amazon has been doing this to us for years. We as real estate marketers, we have the ability to do the same. Now, just like in your direct mail, what you say to your audience matters, and specificity attracts the right person to you. The more targeted you can be with your messaging, the better results you will get. All right, lead generation number 7, networking. This doesn't sound fun to most people, but done correctly, it's the most effective form of marketing for motivated sellers there is, and it's free. Remember, real estate, it's a people business. Every piece of real estate you buy or sell will be from or to another person. People know people, and the right people know motivated sellers. So 2 groups of people that do are, 1, local attorneys, and the second would be county and city inspectors. You see, attorneys are always working with clients that need to sell their income properties or homes quickly due to reasons such as probate, divorce, or bankruptcy. And you can reach out to local attorneys via email or direct mail, and better still, network with them face-to-face at local business gatherings and events. Getting in touch with the right attorneys can be a great way to find motivated sellers. Focus on lawyers that practice real estate law, family law, bankruptcy law, and estate law. Now, county and city inspectors are continually checking properties and buildings to see if they're up to code or not. And they flag properties that have issues, such as unpermitted landscaping, or zoning violations, or septic system violations, and unpermitted upgrades. When a property owner is overwhelmed by multiple liens, they might be motivated to sell quickly and below market price. Networking with inspectors is a very effective strategy for compiling a motivated seller's list. Now, as a bonus, I saved the best for last, and this is where your best deals come from. And you might have heard this expression before. The fortune is in the follow-up. Yes, you have heard it before. So although you don't want to inundate your leads with constant contact for fear of turning them off, the biggest mistake you can make when marketing for motivated sellers is not following up. So schedule reminders to follow up with your leads, whether with an email, a text message, or a phone call. This is because it takes time to cultivate trusting relationships, and not all of your leads will be ready to sell right away anyway. So once you plant the seed, it might take some time before a lead is ready to sell. Keeping in touch with your leads will help you catch them at just the right time. And here's why. Only 2% of your deals will happen the first time you engage with them. 3% of your deals will come as a result of your second contact. And 4% will say yes on the third. And you'll need to make 4 contacts at least to capture 10% of your potential deals. Meaning, there's a lot of potential in the leads that you've already generated, as 81% of your deals won't occur until after your 5th engagement with their owners. Now, here's the beauty of it. 44% of your competition gives up after the first touch. 22% more of them give up after the second. 14% will give up after the third, and 12% after their 4th engagement. And what that means is 92% of your competition will give up before an eventual yes. And this is really important, especially if you feel your market is saturated or really competitive. That you know 8% of the real estate investors in your market are getting 81% of the deals for no other reason than they followed up. So, follow up. If you'd like to explore the possibility of working together one-on-one and becoming a master real estate marketer, thereby a very successful real estate investor, go to reiace.com, answer a few questions, and pick a time for us to hop on the phone and brainstorm some ideas about getting you to the next level of your real estate investing. reiace.com. And I'll put a link below in the description for you too. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.